No!
Okay. So this is the second collab that I've done so far.
Hello people.
This is Logaraj.
Hi.
Okay, also a great comic book fan.
Batman.
Yeah, you can see his enthusiasm. He was very enthusiastic. He brought props. His collection of Batman figurines.
Yes. Massive Batman fan. Massive.
Okay, so dude's a massive Batman fan.
Likewise our host Satish Kumar.
Okay, so the both of us are obviously here to talk about the latest Batman.
Yes.
We watched it together actually. For him, it was the second show. For me, it was the first show. And yeah, we have a lot of thoughts about it, and we just want to share those thoughts.
By the way, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't watched it, please save it and watch it later.
Yeah, so we're gonna be going deep into the spoilers in this review. So click away right now if you guys haven't seen the movie yet. Okay, so there's a lot of things to talk about. So first, let's talk about first impression after walking out. So
Okay.
our guest, you can give you.
Okay.
I know you watched it twice,
Yeah, I
but
watched
you know.
it twice. Okay. So first impression, I'll say on both impressions. I mean the first time, after the first time, and the second time. So after the first show, after I came out, to be honest, I felt like this was easily the most complete Batman movie lah. I felt that it was so comprehensive. It was so well thought through in terms of the storyline, the plot, in terms of the music. Everything about the movie was a well thought through. It wasn't just a Batman movie. It was a very well thought through movie. And after the second show, I felt like, oh, memang you can actually appreciate it more. You can actually appreciate that what the director's perspective was, and you can see how he want to make it happen, and you'll appreciate more lah. That's how I felt my second time. What about you? What's your impression after you left the theater?
Okay, I think the first thing I said to you after watching, I said I had mixed feelings on the movie at
You
first.
said you had mixed feelings.
Yeah, but yeah, I did have mixed feelings at first, but you know, after thinking about it, I think I changed my mind. It was an amazing movie lah. It was the best Batman movie that you could possibly make. I know people like comparing movies to The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's the most hot comparison right now.
Yeah, they compare it to Dark Knight, but I think that's a bit of an unfair comparison because, you know, Heath Ledger was in the movie, you know,
Yes.
so there's nobody carrying that, and there's nobody in a similar capacity in this movie, and we'll get to more on that.
Yes, I agree.
But this movie, okay, my first impression after walking out, right, I was like, I didn't watch a superhero movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Correct.
I didn't
agree.
watch a superhero movie, and it was basically a crime thriller movie, you know.
Yes, agree.
So Batman, you know, any action hero could have done exactly what he did in that movie without wearing a suit. You know,
Yes,
the
I
difference
agree.
is he had a suit on. You know, I was telling you how I thought Batman was like severely nerfed in this movie. I thought Batman was like really, really nerfed. But then, okay, it's year 2 Batman lah.
Easier to Batman.
Yes.
He mentioned it in the movie itself. It's been 2 years he's been Batman, so he's a beginner Batman.
Yeah.
And they actually showed he's a beginner Batman. So you can see that in terms of his abilities wise, in terms of experience, they showed he's a beginner Batman. In terms of his equipment, which we'll go through so later. And yeah, and like he said, it's a crime thriller movie. And have you watched the movie Seven?
Yeah, 7.
Seven, Zodiac. It basically is a crime thriller movie where Batman's a detective to solve the murder and the mystery. That was the whole run through of the movie, the plot itself.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a crime thriller movie. So you know, it was like any other detective movie lah, basically. And since he's year 2 Batman, like I mean, okay, look, anyone remember this guy? Okay, this is Zack Snyder's Batman.
Yeah.
Okay, this Batman literally took down Superman. You know, okay.
Bad flag.
Yeah, Ben Affleck's Batman literally he took down Superman, and you know, this Batman, I think Superman one laser the entire
Like one flick, like thing like that.
yeah,
will fly.
will fly lah. Okay, so you know, there's no way this Batman is gonna be able to take on Superman lah.
Yeah,
So he's still a rookie Batman.
he's a rookie Batman.
So okay, the plot. Okay, let's you know go over the plot a bit
Okay.
lah. Let's begin with the ending this time.
Okay.
I remember like after we walked out of the movie, I told you, did the villain just win in the movie?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the villain literally won. So that was very different. Like I have not seen. There's like only a handful of movies where the villain actually won. Thanos. Thanos.
To be fair, The Dark Knight also, to a certain extent,
Joker won. Yeah, Joker did win.
So that's why if you look at that from that perspective, a good villain makes a really good movie. And in this one, he did lah.
Yeah, but the thing is, Riddler. Okay, we're about to get to this later lah. But Riddler was okay. Let's focus on the plot first. Okay. So we have Robert Pattinson playing Year 2 Batman, and there is a serial killer out on the loose.
Okay.
He has been killing like very prolific figures in Gotham. Politicians, police officers, lawyers, and the thing is like halfway through the movie, and he has his reasons for killing these people.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would say to a certain extent that those reasons are justified. It is justified. Because I was like wondering, okay, and halfway through the movie, I was like, is this guy really a bad guy or not? I feel like this is just a Batman that's willing to kill.
Yeah.
So, and you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of what's the guy's name? The villain in Civil War, who kind of orchestrated the fight. Zemo, yeah. So Zemo, he is like one man.
Yeah, correct.
But
yes, exactly. Yeah.
He broke apart the Avengers.
His reason was his family died in the
Sokovia.
Yeah, that thing. So that was his reason.
Yeah. So this time, he like set out this master plan. Very intricate plan, and he involved Batman in the plan.
Yes.
So that's why at the ending, he was like, "Oh, me and you are buddies. We did this together."
This is the thing we can discuss about actually. Him like, because some of them asked me lah, was Batman actually Riddler's villain? Like, why did Riddler target Batman so much? Then I said no, he didn't target. He just needed. You mentioned he needed someone to help him to uncover the truth, unmask the truth.
Yeah.
That's his goal.
Yeah.
So,
because we thought all those letters to Batman was a way to taunt him, at first. Like, we thought, the Riddler is taunting the Batman. No, he was using the Batman.
He was using him.
Yeah, so...
He just needed someone strong to just help him in his whatever he wants to achieve. And he, to a certain extent, in the end, like what you said lah.
He got what he wanted lah, And Batman played into that lah, He was tricked exactly, So, yeah, the villain freaking won in this movie, but... I'm curious to see what happens in the next movie because the guy is still alive.
He is still
and
alive.
He made a friend in Arkham, by the way.
A very good friend.
Very good.
A very famous friend.
A very famous friend. So I think if you guys saw the movie, you guys know who we're talking about. He's the Joker, I mean, if that's not the Joker, I don't. He mentioned the word clown, the evil laugh.
Yes.
He's definitely the Joker.
They rumored he was going to be in the movie to play the Joker, so and he was true lah.
Yeah.
That was his only scene in the movie, and that was the scene.
Yeah. So overall, okay, let's. So I think both me and you agree that it's an awesome movie. It's a great Batman movie.
Very well thought through Batman movie.
Like ripped straight from the comics.
Straight from the comics. Straight like how Gotham City would be, how a dark theme movie would be from the comics. They made it into a movie lah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into Gotham a bit. Like the theme of Gotham.
Okay.
It was very, very dark.
Very dark.
Like if there was ever to be a Gotham, like that is how it would look like.
That's the definition of Gotham, exactly, yeah.
So I think the opening scene of the movie was one of the best opening scenes I have ever seen.
Okay, yeah.
Because it summarized Gotham and it summarized what the Batman was doing.
Yes.
So perfectly. Like, it showed that this is a crime-ridden, horrible city.
Yes, agree.
And, it's full of thugs. And the movie was trying to be political in a few ways, I noticed. Okay. Because in the opening scene itself, you can see the Asian guy getting beat up,
Yeah.
So, there's
the mayor lah, the guy.
Right. Oh, was he the mayor?
Yeah, Don Mitchell, the fella.
No. I'm saying, on the train, these bunch of guys.
After Don Mitchell scene, correct. In the train.
Yeah, in the train, they were beating up. So, it's like, it's an Asian hate crime. Yeah. So, they were trying to go a bit in that direction. It was very subtle, but very well executed also, and there he is. Batman showed up,
Oh, the
and
intro.
yeah,
From the shadows, he just came through. No, because if you watch the movie, you know the line he mentioned. Once the signal hits the sky, it's not a symbol; it's a warning.
it's a warning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the line he used. Then after that, the train scene, then he came over. That was amazing, lah. You all should watch it, lah.
yeah. It shows that that Gotham is afraid of the Batman, and it parallels to Arkham Knight.
Yes.
If any of you have played or
Played the game.
seen Arkham Knight is also a Batman game
Mm.
where like whenever you walk up to these thugs, these guys, oh, it's the Bat,
Yeah.
they're like scared of you, they're literally scared of you. So yeah, so this entire city was scared of the Batman, and that opening scene was just amazing.
It was the one of the best. If you want to give an intro for Batman, that's how an intro should be given for Batman. That's how they gave it, lah.
Yeah. So besides that, Gotham, okay, let's parallel it to Nolan's
Nolan.
Gotham. Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned to him earlier actually. Nolan's Gotham was actually just New York City. There's nothing much to it. Thinking when we once we saw this Gotham, that's when we knew that was a rip off pirated Gotham, lah.
Pirated Gotham. No, it wasn't Gotham at all.
It wasn't Gotham,
Yeah,
yeah,
it wasn't
it wasn't
Gotham.
They showed elements of crime here and there, but in terms of the setting, the way the vibe it gave, this Gotham actually gave an eerie vibe, a dark vibe with just crime written. Yeah, that's how Gotham is depicted in the comics, and that's how they showed it in the movie. So it was nice to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nolan, as as great as the Dark Knight was, he kind of missed the spot lah with
In terms of the
setting.
the setting, yeah.
Okay, another thing, soundtrack.
Oh, it's amazing lah. I swear to Mother Earth, I watch the second time and you can please the music. Just the first time you'd be amazed, Second time you just, it's so good the music. So it's symphony. It was like that. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, the music really gave you. It was so Batman, It gave fear.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like horror movie-esque, like where you are scared hearing that music, that some dark entity is
Yes, yes,
coming.
correct.
So it gives fear. Like usually superhero soundtracks, right?
They're very uplifting.
Uplifting. It's
Yeah.
uplifting, but this soundtrack screams fear.
Yes.
Like he wants to put fear in his enemies.
Like even if you remember the Riddler starting intro itself, if you hear you can't recall the soundtrack, you'll notice it's like a horror soundtrack theme. They played. I don't know what instrument, I don't know what instrument lah, but it memang was like a horror soundtrack. And then they showed the whole movie itself. That was the theme of the storyline, and the music they showed it lah. So it's very very good, very amazing to see. And
Yeah.
can appreciate it lah.
Right, soundtrack aside, okay, this is something I really want to talk about. Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Okay, your thoughts first lah.
Okay, I didn't like him as Batman. to be honest.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like the movie is good, but I don't know lah.
Okay, which part of him?
His acting is good. It's just that I don't know lah. He's okay. Like let's say Iron Man, right? Like
Okay, okay.
like Robert Downey Jr.'s face fits Iron Man.
Yes,
Like imagine if the old plan of Tom Cruise being Iron Man was actually was actually put into motion. I wouldn't have liked it. I think, because like his face does not fit
Okay.
fit that. And same like I don't know why Robert Pattinson, like his face just doesn't say Batman to me. I don't know why. he looks young lah to me. Like he
Yeah.
looks too young to be Batman for
He's
some reason.
young.
So, but he's not that young in real life actually. But I don't know why. I personally feel like he looks very young. Maybe he's meant to be like that lah.
Mm.
That he is a young rookie Batman.
Okay.
Maybe like that lah. But yeah, just want to show you guys. I remember that when the trailer came out, people were making fun of his eyeliner. I mean, whatever that thing is called lah around his eyes.
Yeah.
It was people were comparing him to like emo singers and all that. But you know what? I don't want to judge him too much.
No, okay. This one, in terms of the eyeline, see, if you watch back all the Batmans, every Batman had the eyeline,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just when they remove the mask, it's not there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it doesn't bother me. Actually, right, I saw some videos where they pointed out how Robert Pattinson actually really acted with his eyes, you know.
Yeah, I know. Okay, if you remember the scene in the funeral scene where
Yeah.
he looked at the his eye contact with that young boy a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean like through the suit itself. I mean, look at his eyes. You know, the way his eyes, right, the white of his eyes, like they move up and down. You know, like that. I've seen people making TikToks, like of them with their eyes down and then moving up.
Yeah.
So it like shows that his eyes like played such a big role. In the movie, like he's just acting with his eyes. The way he moves with his eyes. There is like one scene even in the trailer, right? If you guys can notice, I think it's in the first trailer actually. It should be the scene where Gordon meets him for the first time. If you guys just see, okay, this was funny, right? Now after rewatching this trailer, right, they put the ending of the movie in the beginning of the trailer.
Yeah.
And like nobody caught that. I think like when I saw this, like it didn't mean anything to me, but they showed us the trailer basically at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. So coming back to where was the scene where he's like investigating? I think it's in the teaser. I think the Batman teaser, right?
I lost
You know when when Gordon calls him in to investigate. Yes, it's this one. Okay. Like you can see the way that he walks, right? I think it's somewhere.
Having a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
Can you see, like, I mean, you cannot see much here, but in the movie, right? Like, I feel like his eyes really play the role. The way he looks up and down. It really played
Like, they showed he showed that, basically in the movie, like, the director himself said, like, he wants to portray a Batman who is emotionally broken, who is traumatized and who wants to make a change. So you can see in his performance. That's why I feel like in terms of being a Batman, this is one of the best performances because he actually depicts a person who is sick of the city, who is broken but wants to make a change, and he strikes fear into people, and in his eyes can see that, in the way he moves, the way he acts, you can see that. That's why I say, in terms of being a Batman, one of the best.
Yeah, his body language in this movie was amazing, okay, like people are trying to replicate his body language, but okay whatever he was a good Batman. I'll give him that. I don't wanna. Maybe after seeing him in Twilight, I still cannot. I'm still judging him based on Twilight or what, I don't know okay. But okay, I mean, yeah, his body language was really good and to be honest, he didn't have that much dialogue also.
He didn't have a dialogue. Most of his is the body language, the emotions he show, the eyes, the way he speaks, the tone he used. Everything shows that he's a person who wants to strike fear into people. He's not someone you can mess around with. That's the theme of this Batman.
Yeah.
And he had like no time for this other even other emotional relationships, like like how him with Gordon. It was just mostly detective work. They didn't show emotionally. Of course, definitely they'll get into that. I'm assuming they might get into that in future movies. But it's more to him wanting to get the job done in that sense.
Another thing about this Batman, right? I feel like he's not a trained Batman,
Yes, I agree.
Because the way he fights in this movie is very thuggish,
He is, it's very thuggish.
It's very thuggish, It's just like throwing punches, even that, like Batman, the way he fights, right? There should be a fluidity to his fight, He's a ninja, basically, Batman is a ninja. And he's not fighting like a ninja. He's fighting like with brute force, That's how he's fighting. And the thing is, like in Batman Begins, right? Like you can see how in the first movie he literally was trained by Ra's al Ghul,
Yes.
He was trained by little ninjas. So that's why you can see that he has the first movie he was trained, he had his first villain. After that only he got Lucius Fox, then he got the technology and then he integrated that. Okay, but so Batman started as a in Nolan's movie started as a rookie, but not that much of a rookie lah.
Yeah.
You know, because he was like a trained ninja at that point. While him, I don't think he got training anywhere.
That's the thing. They didn't mention much about the 2 years, but we'll see. But yeah, he looks like he. I mean, to be fair, some of his punches were actually good lah. They showed some elements of his good fighting skills and good punches and good agility. But to a certain extent, he's also got Viking also lah.
Yeah, I mean but okay, there was one scene where I don't know if he mentioned or Alfred mentioned. He was like, "You can teach me how to fight." So I think he got his training from Alfred.
Oh,
because
no, Alfred mentioned what?
Yeah.
What can I train you? Can I train you to fight? But then how can I help you? He mentioned in the hospital bed.
Yeah. So Alfred was ex MI6, right?
Yes,
So
MI6.
so I think he probably got his training from Alfred. So maybe that explains his fighting style. His fighting style is not fluid at all. Even when the police was surrounding him, right, the way he was trying to move was like very
emotional based.
very emotional.
Not like how a ninja is trained to be composed and cool, like how in even Nolan movies not so emotions based. This one it's like pure anger and rage. You can see that throughout whatever fighting he does is just emotion.
Yeah.
So maybe he wants to show that he's a rookie Batman, and or in another sense, the director wanted to portray a Batman who is a realistic Batman, not a superhero comic-y Batman. I don't know. It depends. If we'll see lah, like the future how it goes. But that's how it's portrayed lah. But it's interesting lah to see.
Yeah.
It's not the usual, this fella wins all the time fight type of guy.
Yeah. I mean the way he fights, like you know that scene where he jumps from the GCPD. The parachute opens, and then he just goes crashes into the ground. Right? I mean, like seeing that right after watching Dark Knight, where like Christian Bale can launch himself from a helicopter, and fly in Hong Kong, hit the exact window, go inside, and then this guy just like crashes to the ground, so he's an extremely rookie Batman lah.
Yes.
Can see like got no training whatsoever. At least in Christian Bale he was trained lah. He was trained by by Ra's al Ghul. So yeah, I don't know how. I think the progression is going to be very steep lah from now on.
It's either that or they want to portray him this way, where like okay, example I was thinking about this lah when the Batwing scene. I was thinking about the physics of it. Like is it can a cape actually glide you nicely? Because he used a proper Batwing.
Yeah, he used
a proper suit where professionals actually use. So in that sense it was realistic.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wondering whether the director wants to show that he's a rookie with a character arc of improving, or he wants to make it realistic as realistic as possible, as to show that someone who is purely angry and full of emotion becoming a vigilante.
The thing is, right, we used to praise Nolan's movies for being the most realistic movie,
Yes.
But this guy brought it to a whole other level.
This is real world. If
Yeah.
someone were to become Batman tomorrow, this is how Batman will be lah.
Yeah, probably lah.
Someone a Muay Thai person with Batman, the bat suit lah.
Muay Thai person. I mean, he was fighting like a Muay Thai person lah.
Exactly.
He wasn't fighting like a ninja. So yeah, I mean his fighting style. Oh, another thing, gadgets.
Okay.
Okay. I lost it right when after the movie finished, he never threw a single batarang in the entire movie. There was no batarangs being thrown. I mean, he had like one
That-
on his chest.
The
Big batarang. Okay, I think he did mean to use it as a batarang lah, because we can see him detach it, put it back on, but he never used it. And some people were theorizing that that's actually the guns which killed his parents, right? It's from
Some of it said that. So
yeah, so
it looked like that.
So he didn't throw a single batarang, and Batman's like biggest one of the key things about Batman is a utility belt lah. So the utility belt has like a bunch of gadgets which he can use. The only gadgets we saw were the grappling hook.
And one thing he end of the movie he took out adrenaline. One of the things he took out.
Adrenaline lah. I mean, any person with a peanut allergy can keep like EpiPens in it and just wake up. Okay. Oh yeah, and the
lens.
Okay, the lens. Okay, here's my problem with I feel like the gadgets, right? Okay, they had good gadgets, but at the same time, okay, the only like very cool gadget he had was the contact lens camera lah. Okay, but he can just attach like a very tiny camera to himself, you know, and record at the same time. Okay, like that could also work. Like it's very replaceable, you know. Okay, it's very replaceable. And number two, like his what are the gadgets? The grappling hook. I don't know lah. I just felt like the entire movie, right? Like any other action hero could have done exactly what he did.
Yeah.
You know, without wearing the suit. You know, like we've seen like crazy action movies like John Wick lah.
Yeah, Mission Impossible Tom Cruise.
Mission Impossible Tom Cruise. You know, like they all did the same
Yeah,
things.
got the same, basically the same stuff lah.
The same stuff, except you know this time he's in a suit lah. Maybe it makes him bulletproof. So it's like very very minor. That's why it's not a superhero movie lah. It's not a superhero movie.
Basically, his advantage over the villains are very minimal lah. Like compared to other how Batman is depicted in the comics or previous movies, he has multiple advantages over a villain where he can just like any thug also can beat up. This one is very minimal. Like only bulletproof suit, the grappling hook, and yeah, nothing much. Right? Okay. And just pure punches lah.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked about his fighting style, his gadgets. Let's talk about the car. Okay. the Batmobile. Let's look at the Batmobile. Okay, so this is like okay. When I saw the car in the trailer, it basically looks like a Dodge Challenger or a Mustang, basically.
Yeah.
You know? So I thought it was like just a hyper modern muscle car or something, you know. And I think it is a hyper modern muscle car, right?
It is.
Yeah, you know. And the thing is, it just has like a rocket at the back. You know, it has like a booster at the back.
Yeah.
Okay, so the car was pretty like meh in the trailer lah for me. But in the cinema, right, that scene where it started.
No, you see the penguin will come here. Then suddenly when the engine started.
The goosebumps.
You can hear the soul speaker. Some of the bit of a seat shaking. I Hatis were like. We felt it. Oh shit! Yeah, that was amazing, man.
Okay. At the same time, I just want to show you guys this clip, right? Okay. This is important.
Get out of here!
So you guys can see the scene here.
I got you!
Okay, so you guys know this scene.
I got you!
Okay, I think there was yes, this scene. Okay, let's have a look.
I'm vengeance.
Okay, you guys saw that, right? So he basically like used like a rocket booster at the back of his car to move. How many car chases have we seen in like, I don't know, 10,000 movies where they had like car chases?
Let's watch all 9 Fast and Furious. You can see.
Yeah. Okay, forget Fast and Furious. Like they are like they're going to outer space or all this.
They're gonna fight for Infinity Stones soon. So forget about that.
So, I mean, like there's plenty of movies with like very good car chases, right? Technically, he didn't need like that much of a beefed out car to chase after the penguin, right?
Yes.
I don't know what car the penguin was riding at the time, but do you need a car with a rocket launcher at the back to go?
Maybe.
Like if you're having a Batmobile, right, it should actually like be of some use to you, you know. It should give you like a bigger advantage than that, you know. I don't know, maybe it has like a grappling hook that can just hook onto his car, tare him inside or what, I don't know lah.
Like you remember Nolan's Batmobile, when in the Dark Knight was stuck and it turned into a motorbike. That's when he came out. So stuff like that lah. So that's it doesn't. So we don't know if it's because he's a 2-year-old, like a 2-year Batman, or it just they want to make it realistic lah. I don't know, but for me it was just so badass lah.
I mean, I'm just being a hater lah. So you know. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool lah. That scene where he's like coming out of the fire, it's like a really cool scene lah. Yeah, so Batmobile, it's just a tricked out muscle car lah, basically.
Yeah, it's a very good, well thought through muscle car.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we talked about the car, the bat suit. Let's go over the villains a bit like in this movie. Okay. So the villains, we had the Riddler, the Penguin,
yes,
Carmine Falcone,
yes,
and also at the end we got a tease of the Joker lah. But let's focus on the first three.
Okay.
The thing about this movie is right, it's like there's multiple villains, and their stories are just entangling
Yes.
around each other. So it shows like how much corruption goes on in
How much
Gotham.
corruption. But what I'm more impressed with, yes, I mean of course, but then I'm more impressed with how the director, okay, we saw the trailer, there was multiple villains. But then towards the, like once you watch the movie we realize that all of it is just connected together, each with their own role in the whole storyline. That's when we were like, okay, because I mean, basically the director actually did an amazing job to think this whole thing through, like he incorporated multiple villains. So like a lot of like horror movies or like crime thriller movies, it's crime thriller, sorry. Just one villain and it revolves around him. This one is multiple villains. As you watch the movie, as the story goes on, you realize that oh, he was part of it. And towards the end, oh, this person was part of it. So it was a very, he did well in incorporating all of it lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's multiple villains. They all know each other. It's like just like one big mafia lah in Gotham, And within them itself, there's like different. There's like conflict between themselves, conflict between Carmine and Falcone, and the fact that Thomas Wayne was involved in some of it.
Yeah.
Okay, like I think have you played the Telltale games of version of Batman?
Telltale.
Telltale games.
I don't remember.
So yeah, there's Telltale. The game Walking Dead game.
Okay, I know.
Okay, the same company made a Batman game also lah. So it's like a very story. You should watch the run through. It's pretty interesting lah.
Okay.
So in that movie, actually Thomas Wayne was a horrible person, like basically in that movie. He was a doctor. He operated on gangsters. And I think Matt Reeves took a bit of inspiration
Yeah,
from
he
that.
said what he is one operated Carmine Falcone on the table when
Yeah.
Wilson was young. He mentioned it.
So Thomas Wayne is not as squeaky clean, and I think we should get like a prequel of some sorts lah. To go not like a full on prequel, but at least like explore his mother.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more to his mother's story.
That's why they mentioned HBO Max gonna release a series Arkham something.
Oh, then they're doing a very good job like actually, because they released Suicide Squad, they made Peacemaker. Now they're releasing the Batman. They're gonna
Arkham. I forgot. Yeah, something about it. So that's why they said they might explore the Arkham's whole background, the hospital itself, the whoever the patients are. So we'll see how they lead to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So besides that,
Talk about the Riddler's design first, actually.
yeah, the Riddler's design. Yeah,
So
you
then-
wanted to see a picture, right? Okay, let's have a look at. So this is how the Riddler looked like in the comics. Green hat, green suit, and this is how he looked like in Arkham Knight also.
Yeah, very comic-y, very that trickster, like, hey, I got you, naughty fella, like
Yeah.
that type of guy. But then in the movie, if you see this guy,
Yeah, it's like this dude over here
this is scary.
It's very scary.
Very scary. And you know the movie Zodiac or not?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw yesterday. I just watched Zodiac for a while. The villain looked like that. And you know he mentioned, the director mentioned, like, he took his design from, the concept from Seven, Zodiac. So you can see like how his thought process was. He thought that this villain, he don't want to make it a comic-y, a simple villain. He made it actually a actual guy with actual plans, with actual purpose and reason, and very menacing. And we saw it in the movie. His voice, the way he laughed, the way he sang.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a taste of the over-the-top villain in Dark Knight already. We had the Joker.
Very hard to beat.
Yeah, very hard to beat.
Too hard to beat.
But the thing about the Riddler is, the guy was psychotic.
He was psychotic.
He was psychotic.
as hell.
Oh, that scene, right? Oh my god, this was genius.
Which one?
That scene, where he was like Bruce Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
And then like Batman actually thought he found out, but he didn't find out.
That's it. Okay, he thought he found out. That's why he looked at the camera first.
Yeah.
To see if this is being
Recorded,
to see his response. So that's why I say he looked down. When he mentioned Bruce Wayne, he looked down. Then the Riddler said, after he said Bruce Wayne a few times, he said, "That's the only one we missed." That's when he looked back, eye contact. So it was like what Sati said earlier. Robert Pattinson played a lot with his eyes, and the movie was it was a very amazing. That it was so well thought through lah. Because that thing I was thinking back yesterday. It was like he didn't make eye contact. He just looked down because he know any movement he make, the fella will know, everyone will know. So he didn't make any movement. And then after that, just look up. After they said we missed him, so he didn't know, and no one knows he's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he like didn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
lah,
he didn't
basically.
acknowledge it. Just
Because he knows if he reacts, then like the camera would pick it up, and
Mm.
he might have picked it up. But yeah, that was a genius scene. Like actually, like he thought he was caught, but he wasn't. And then the Riddler like had this mental breakdown in front of
Ah.
him. The thing is, like the Riddler, he actually thought that the Batman was helping him.
Yes.
Like he didn't think like all those letters to Batman, right? It wasn't to taunt him. It was to get him to help him.
To help him for the riddle for the next one. That's all.
So, yeah, I mean, okay lah. Maybe this is because he's psychotic or what. But I mean, if he just wanted the Batman to help him, like why give him like a bunch of riddles?
Because he said from small he's always envied Bruce Wayne in terms of he's an orphan as well, and then he said that he always found like seek his happiness through riddles, and then in this movie itself like he didn't want to I don't know why. Of course Riddler's main method is just riddles lah, but like he said he's not brave enough to bring out those villains, and only Batman is able to think this stuff through. And I think because if you ask someone just bring out his fella with reason to kill him, of course Batman won't do it, right?
Yeah.
So he has to be indirect method through a riddle to, because like you see, remember the end scene where he said bring the rat under the light. So he just brought it out in the first shot, and the fellow was waiting for weeks, easily weeks lah. So that was his plan. He was not brave. I think it's either he know who's that or he don't know. Done I don't know, but he was not brave enough to actually go in and bring out. He needed someone who's actually brave enough and strong enough, who's smart enough, and he was the Batman. So that was his mindset, and of course he was psychotic lah. So
Yeah, I mean, this time, and you know what was like surprising? At that scene at the coffee shop, right? Like, he wasn't in his costume. It was just an ordinary guy.
yeah,
This guy just basically is like one of those school shooter types, where, like they are like closeted school shooters. Like he had the exact face of an incel who was dreaming up about shooting up his school, lah. And you can see, yeah, I mean, Matt Reeves, yeah, he made a lot of political statements in this movie, which people actually missed, Like the Riddler was basically like the living embodiment of a school shooter, back in the US. Usually most of these guys, they look like that, they have some underlying mental disorder, they are closeted, they are secluded from society, but where they get their validation is through these online, very niche online sites where like they are like dreaming up about shooting their school.
Yeah.
And there are other guys,
they have a
like,
following.
they have a following, and they have guys like guys like helping him. If you saw the chat, right, like there's people like telling him where to buy ski masks lah, where to buy rifles lah, so yeah, he made like he made a good portrayal of those kind of people lah.
Towards the end, it became a terrorist attack as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say any guy could pull this off lah, but he obviously thought it out really, really well, his plan, which is very impressive for a guy that's psychotic lah,
And in the end, he won what? He got Gotham destroyed with the multiple bombs.
Yeah.
He got Batman to uncover the truth of these politicians. Riddler's role in this movie was he wanted to show to the people of Gotham that these politicians they look up to are actually not who they seem to be. He did that. He uncovered all of that. Next, his role was to just destroy Gotham, to the sense that all these politicians would gather one place and he wanted to kill the mayor and just basically destroy Gotham, and he did that. But in the end, they showed that that's this thing. The symbolism in this movie is amazing. Like towards the end, they showed how Batman was the symbol of hope. That scene where he lift up that torch, then walk right, everyone following. Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
That
From vengeance to hope.
Yeah,
He said that at the end.
Yeah, from vengeance to hope.
But the thing is, right, I would say if the Riddler had just stopped with the murdering, right, and did not proceed to blow up Gotham, right, I would have supported the Riddler. No, like legit. Like the only bad thing the Riddler did in this movie, right, was blow up the seawalls, Other than that, of course he murdered a bunch of people, but at the same time he, like, let's be real, like these were not squeaky clean people also, they were messing up the entire ecosystem of Gotham. So like the people that he murdered, and he he exposed to the public were actually really bad people,
Yeah.
and
That's why I said this villain actually had purpose, and but only he just destroyed Gotham and.
I-
In the end, a villain is a villain.
yeah, I mean, I was about to say something but it's too controversial. I low-key wish this country had a Riddler lah, honestly. If we had a Riddler here, I mean, don't go murdering people, but you know, if you can
Unmask the truth.
unmask the truth, you know, it'd be very helpful lah.
No more lies.
Yeah, so if there's any school shooter types out there, you know, do your job lah. Okay? Don't go shoot anyone, but you know, let's okay, like, if I say any more, right, I think I'm I think I'm going okay. Yeah, so yeah, we talked about the Riddler. Penguin. Okay. Penguin. You mentioned Colin. His name is Colin Farrell,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, let's show people how this guy like
Actually looks in real life.
yeah. Colin Farrell,
This one.
Penguin.
Yeah, good comparison. Go to the images, they will show.
I think. Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
So this guy was on like mad prosthetics, man. Like, look at that.
No, to be honest, right, I remember seeing him being casted as Penguin. I was like, okay, we'll see his transformation. Then throughout the movie, and I watched that, I totally forgot it was him. Until after the movie, I realized, oh man, it's actually Colin Farrell. I was like, I mean, I watched his movies lah, but you don't recognize him, you know. So basically, they really took a lot of effort to make him look like that. Oh damn.
Yeah, the makeup team did a great job with him.
Yeah. Very amazing lah.
Yeah, like Matt Reeves, right? He didn't go over the top with all the with making villains look crazy, you know. Like
Yeah.
Penguin in the comics was like this huge fat guy. He was basically Kingpin lah, you know.
He was even in the comics he has this army of penguins, you know.
Really?
Yeah, he has even he watched Tim Burton's Batman lah.
Tim Burton.
He had the penguins all around him, follow him. Penguins was the one who raised him in the movie. Yeah,
Wow.
so that's I mean that's how they depicted it. But in this movie, he was depicted as a mob gangster, you know. So that's why he made it as realistic as possible. So his nickname is just the Penguin. I don't know like based on what, but yeah, they made it that way. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah, this is basically okay. You know who this guy reminds me of? So we have the school shooter Riddler. Okay, so this Colin Farrell. Okay, you look at him. I'm going to show you this guy. Let's go look at. You guys know who this is? It's this guy. Do you know who he is?
No, not really.
Okay, he's the producer for a bunch of Tarantino movies like Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. This is him. I've never seen his face.
Okay,
Okay.
this guy he's in jail now.
Why?
He basically like molested like a bunch of people who worked for bunch of girls who worked for him lah. Okay, and this guy low-key looks like a penguin lah to me, you know. You know, so like Matt Reeves is like taking inspiration, you know. Take a school shooter, make him Riddler. Take a serial rapist, put him as penguin, you know. So
he has his inspirations.
Carmine Falcone, he's like the Transformers guy, right?
Yeah,
You know?
he is a Transformer guy.
He's the Transformers guy, and then suddenly I saw him with a beard. I was like, okay, Transformers guy. You are
Like
like,
this time look more Italian mob style, like the Godfather-ish, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that son.
yeah, he is Italian. He is an Italian mob, right?
The
Yeah,
movie is Italian mob.
it's an Italian mob. Yeah, now that you mention it, I realized.
Salvatore Maroni.
Okay, is Salvatore Maroni dead? Yeah, dead already.
Yeah, I did.
He's
I don't know. Not sure dead or in jail. They never mentioned it much. They said this drug busted. I mean the biggest drug bust in Gotham's history was the Salvatore Maroni case. In terms of whether he's dead or alive, they never mentioned. I'm not sure they mentioned. No.
Because I don't know why, right? A lot of media avoids Maroni, you know. Even in Arkham Knight, right? After Maroni is gone, only like Two-Face went, robbing banks in Arkham Knight. And then even in Telltale Games also, Maroni was there, but also sort of not there. But the comics, Maroni was there. Maroni is actually a very huge villain, you know.
Yeah, very good.
So I don't...
No, it'd be interesting to see if they never mention if he's dead or not. Maybe he's somewhere in Arkham or somewhere in prison waiting to come out.
Possibly. And now that Gotham is like underwater.
Yeah, and now they mentioned that Carmine Falcone is dead. A lot of people want to grab the power. So, like we showed Penguin. If he's alive, it could be one of him also. Right?
I don't think they should have killed off Falcone that early.
I feel he deserved to die.
I mean, he deserved to die, of course, but I feel like could have milked a bit more from him.
I think the reason why you like.
I liked his character. I feel like he's very manipulative.
Yes, I agree.
He's very cruel.
He looks like that Italian mob who lead the city. But why he's nice. It was good to see him dead. In terms of what my reason is because of the future plot. Because right now, power grab will happen. A lot of them will come out to, it'll be mad lah. It'll be nice to see. We'll see how things will go. Like all these villains might come out. So that's why I'm excited to see lah. Not that just one guy running the city.
Yeah. So, Carmine Falcone, Riddler, Penguin, and Joker. Of course, we didn't see much of the Joker, but just based on the tiny glimpse we saw, right? He looks like an average man.
He looks like an average man. Yes. If you know that was the Joker Barry Keoghan.
I don't know. I don't know which actor. What's his name?
Barry Keoghan.
Barry.
Barry. That's the one. Irish actor. He used to look like Irish actor.
Oh, this guy. Okay.
Yeah, this is the one.
Alright.
He is playing the Joker. So he's a very good actor actually. He played Internals, one of the latest Marvel movie. Another movie I forgot. There was one movie he played also as a psychopath. I forgot what movie name. But yeah, basically he's a good actor. And why they played him? Why they want to choose him as Joker? I feel they want to give this Joker that comic like short hair, spiky hair look. I think so. And he has that pointy chin, sharp nose. He has that this one. That features, those features. Like you see like Heath Ledger, his features were not so comic like Joker features. What's the guy name? Joaquin Phoenix was just literally look the same. So the pointy chin, sharp face feature they gave to Jared Leto, and they ruined his script.
I forgot about Jared Leto
Exactly.
until you mentioned him. Until you mentioned him, I forgot.
He had
Jared
the
Leto.
features, but just he was poorly written, poor script lah. So I think they want to give this one because even if you look at that short glimpse in the movie, you can see that his hair was messy, and he had that laugh. So yeah, I'm interested to see lah. Like I will see how it goes. Hopefully he will do a good job.
You want to see who should be the Joker?
I've always wanted him. I've always since last time I've always wanted. If you see now lah, I've always
look at this guy.
I've always felt he can be Joker.
Look at these edits like I don't know why is he not the
look
Joker.
Like a proper Joker. Like seriously.
He should be the Joker.
Yeah, I've always felt this also. Yeah. William Dafoe. He actually can.
Yeah, but maybe they think he's too old or whatever.
Probably so lah. But
bro, his facial just look at his facial expressions in No Way Home when he was the Green Goblin. The way his laugh, his eyes, his voice.
Yeah.
He's perfect for that role. Seriously, really perfect.
He got the pointy, the chin, everything. The features are there. It's just whether the director wants to call him or not. Not yet.
Yeah.
No, even this one, it looks like the Arkham
Knight, right? He looks exactly like Arkham Knight Joker.
He would definitely pull it off.
I mean, yeah. Look at this. Look at
this
that.
Was him as Green Goblin.
Yeah, he's Green Goblin. He did such a good job, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him as Joker anytime soon. Though.
Unless they do another reboot soon, lah.
Yeah, hopefully, lah. So yeah, we went through the villains.
The cinematography of it, the whole movie itself.
Yeah, the cinematography was very dark. Very they chose a lot of wide angle shots for the movie. Wide angle shots. Other than that, they had like few very memorable scenes. One, of course, for me, my favorite scene was like the Batmobile starting up, coming through the fire, and then Batman is like walking with his cape. What was your favorite scene in the movie?
To be honest, right, I got no favorite scene, but I feel like throughout the whole movie itself, the way it was shot, like from the director's perspective, how he wants the camera to be positioned, how he wants the scene to be, it was very it was not just a normal superhero movie. Like I mentioned, it's not a thought scene. He wanted to show that Batman was the one leading, and a bunch of people coming from behind, and he was one with the torch. He wanted to show that, that scene. Even the shots when he was a Catwoman, the background, that sunset background, the whole, the way the camera angles, everything, like, for me, it was so nice to watch lah. It was just not a normal superhero movie where they just want good CGI, good visuals. It was actually very minimal CGI this movie. I don't think the CGI was actually very minimal life got as well.
Yeah, true. They went with a lot of practical effects
Yes.
this movie. Even the suit, right? I am so glad the suit is like real, legit suit instead of the Spider-Man BS we saw before this, right?
Yeah.
Where the entire suit is like CG.
Yeah. The suit lah. Yeah, everything about lah. In terms of my favorite scene, a lot lah. His intro, the car, the engine starting, through the fire. But yeah, it's just a lot. It's a very good movie lah. Where he like, how superhero movies are a lot for fan service.
Yeah.
This movie is got fan service a bit, but he can really show that he showed that he focuses on the plot a lot. Like, like, okay lah, talk about No Way Home. The plot was
crap.
sampah lah. I left the movie actually not impressed.
Yeah, same. Me also.
I was okay lah. The nostalgic moments was fun lah, but this is, like I said, fan service. That's all.
And that movie made like close to $1 billion,
Yeah, I mean, okay lah. Let's be fair. Okay lah, it can make like, people nostalgia lah. It brought the emotion out. But then when you think back, right, in terms of it being a movie, cannot.
If that movie did not have Toby and Andrew Wright, it would have been a flop, Seriously, that
Exactly,
movie would have
that's
been a
the
flop.
Like, the movie was only good because of the both of them and the nostalgic moments. Nothing else. So,
Even the fan service also wasn't that amazing.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't that many like very good fight scenes between them.
yeah, like this one you can see very very well thought through movie lah. Very well thought through superhero movie. Like what you said, not even a superhero movie. That's how well thought through it was. It's just good lah.
Yeah. So let's we missed one part. Catwoman.
Oh, Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz.
I think did I tell you the other day that I think she was bi in the movie. She was.
She looked that way.
No, it's not she looked that way. She I think Annika was her girlfriend actually.
I never thought of that, but now
No,
it
Annika.
could be.
Yeah, Annika is her girlfriend because she was like literally calling her baby over the phone, and
I mean, a lot of girls call each other baby.
I don't know
lah.
I mean, but she was like, nah, she's for sure bi. I can. I think people confirmed it online also. Even Zoe Kravitz herself confirmed it. Yeah, in an interview, like she said she interpreted the movie as her being Catwoman being bi. But yeah, that was an interesting twist. Like he was making this is another political statement, not because of the bi part. Even if that was, it was very subtle. I don't know how closely you follow like American politics lah. But for me, like, there was a lot of angry reactions from the Conservative Party people over in the US because of Batman, and because of which scene? There is one scene where Zoe Kravitz tells Robert Pattinson that there is a bunch of white privileged men running this city. Okay. I don't know if you remember.
I remember
if you remember that scene, and that one word literally created a spark lah. Okay, and everybody started getting mad over there. All these supremacist types like they started getting angry over that scene. So yeah, that was interesting also. Like he was making like a few political statements here and there throughout that movie, which I found was interesting. Matt Reeves, so good job, because a lot of movies when they attempt to do stuff like that is very in your face, and it just pisses people off lah, but this time he did it really well. Catwoman was a very strong character in this movie.
She had the scenes, she showed her fighting a bit.
Yeah, and her fighting and I found it interesting, right? Against Falcone, she actually used her nails to scratch him. So that was and correct me if I'm wrong. I think right. There was a story about her drinking milk out of out of bowl because she wanted to train for the Batman. I mean,
Oh, serious?
yeah, I don't know if how true that is. I think people are making fun of that lah. Like, yeah.
Oh, it's serious?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. So get a load of this lah. Okay. And yeah, there was a picture of her actually drinking. Look at that. Look at that.
Huh?
She's like drinking. I don't know lah. Maybe she did this out of. Is that her with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, it's like this.
Wow. Okay. Looks like these two really had some good behind the scenes training. Yeah, but I really like the dynamic between the both of them because like the both of them together, like just this screams sex on screen. It's like that's how like Batman and Catwoman's relationship was. Friends with benefit. But like Batman is a bit off topic lah. I don't know if you watched The Killing Joke or not.
I watched a bit. How much full?
Okay, you haven't watched full The Killing Joke, right? One of the most messed up things I've ever seen Batman did right was basically like bang Commissioner Gordon's daughter, Barbara Gordon. He did that in The Killing Joke. It was like the most disturbing scene I've seen. Somehow it's an animated movie, right? So it's like, okay, first of all, this girl is like your daughter's age, like, okay, that's like one thing. And it's the commissioner's daughter, the guy who you've been seeing at the rooftops in the middle of the night. His daughter, like you are like messing with his daughter behind his back. Yeah, but I like the dynamic between the two of them, even though they kind of said goodbye at the end. Definitely she'll be back in the next movie. But yeah, interesting to see how that works out. Okay, so let's like wrap this up with the future plans.
Yeah.
So future plans, what characters do you think we'll be seeing in the future?
I pretty sure Joker definitely should come, but I think Joker either part 2 or part 3 because Matt Reeves himself said it's a trilogy, so we'll see when Joker comes. I want to see Robin because in Nolan's one we didn't see Robin. They just showed towards the end that Robin might come. He ended he gave the cave, whatever instrument or what for him to go under the cave, then the suit out, he saw the whole equipment, right? Remember not? That's how it ended. So I'm not sure if that was depicted as him becoming Robin or he will take over the cape and become Batman. But the last Robin, actually a live action Robin, which I watched was the Batman and Robin, the George Clooney one,
the old movie.
Val Kilmer. Yeah, that was the one lah. So I want to see a good depiction of Robin.
I don't think we will get a Robin.
Yeah,
because like I said, like a Batman can only have a Robin if the Batman is like really good Batman, then only he can mentor Robin. These Batman also fighting like like tak tentu je, the way they're fighting. Like, imagine him training another person, right?
Yeah,
cannot lah. I don't think we'll. I thought like we'd see either Nightwing or okay, maybe might see Nightwing.
Nightwing
okay.
possible lah.
Nightwing, because he's a separate hero. He's technically not Batman's sidekick.
Yes.
He, even in the comics and even in Arkham Knight also, like if I'm not mistaken, like Batman took care of Gotham and Nightwing had his own separate place where he took care of, because Nightwing had his own story. He was like Dick Grayson, the flying Dick Grayson or something. He was like the circus performer, so he became like his own hero. So like Robin is like
Robin is Nightwing, right? In some of
no.
I came Robin first, then become Nightwing, right?
No. Nightwing is Dick Grayson. Robin is Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, correct?
Jason Todd, and then there's one more. I forgot lah. There's another Robin. So after Jason Todd not died, but became Red Hood. There's another replacement for Robin. Yeah, but Dick Grayson was Nightwing, and he's like separate hero. So maybe we might see Nightwing. But if they do bring Nightwing, right, I really want to see like what he's gonna fight with, because I feel like if they wanted to make it realistic, right, like Nightwing carried like electric sticks.
Correct.
So I don't know how they are gonna make that happen like in this movie. So maybe we might see him use nunchucks or something. I don't know. Other than that,
I don't think we'll see people like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, for sure not.
Bane, Bane would be a good
Bane.
introduction, but no, we saw it in Nolan's one. So if you use the same villain, we'll see lah. But we have Bane, we have who else?
Do you think Harley Quinn will make an appearance with Joker?
I don't think. I think it will spoil. Harley Quinn herself is very comic-y, right? So
Yeah.
I think that the theme of this movie is not comic-y. So I don't think he'll introduce these comic-y villains.
And it's very hard to replace Margot Robbie also.
Yeah.
lah. Yeah, you know.
Very hard, very hard. Deathstroke?
Possibly. Deathstroke was in Justice League, but
She was. Yes. Towards the end, we just saw it, and even the Snyder Cut we saw.
but an assassin that advanced in like a city like that, I don't know lah.
Yeah.
I mean, if Deathstroke were to be in the movie, we would have already seen him.
Correct.
You know, because like all the mobs would have definitely used him for something. So maybe like I don't know.
Yeah, actually, for now, we can only like actually say the one who fits the theme of this movie is Joker lah.
You know,
Nightwing possibly so.
you know who I think would make an appearance and should make an appearance? Lucius Fox.
He will definitely he will help in terms of the gadget, in terms of the
yeah.
equipment. Definitely I'm assuming in part 2. Okay, like we'll talk. What do you think will happen next movie?
The next movie.
Yeah, what like based after you see the first one, how will the second one go into?
So there's obviously going to be a big power struggle happening in that city,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Okay. So who is still left? Falcone died today. So Penguin is trying to going to try to grab the city. So Penguin is probably going to be the main villain lah
Yes.
in the second movie. I think right they will hold off on Riddler and Joker for a while actually.
Yeah, I
they
think
won't
so.
thoroughly bring them in the second movie.
Yeah, probably the third one.
Because like the Joker needs time to brainwash Riddler, you know. And I think maybe by the end of the third movie, right, like they're gonna be a duo and they're gonna work with each other and they're gonna try to take him
There's a
down.
comic series based on that with Joker and Riddler being together. I forgot the name of that series. Both of them. But yeah, they might do that also. Also, definitely in part 2, definitely we'll see Gordon in this movie becoming commissioner because the commissioner died and Gordon has done a lot. We'll definitely see more of Bruce Wayne himself. Then we'll definitely that's trying to read online also. Remember the Hush one that's how I mentioned to you. Hush.
Yeah, Hush.
Because Hush the reporter was killed by Falcone, right? Okay. Then so they mentioned that probably Hush will make an appearance to want to kill Bruce Wayne. So that's why we have more of Bruce Wayne in part 2.
You say what? The reporter's son.
Yeah, the reporters, because I forgot. As I say, I'm trying to recall the name of the reporter. Something Elliot, I think. So they might include him in the movie as another villain. So Joker, they might hold off a bit.
Maybe.
That's how they want to put in more of Bruce Wayne.
It's. Oh, you know what I think is gonna happen? Like in the second movie, they are not going to like Theros pick up where we left off. You know, it's like 2 years later. How
Probably.
maybe that's how they're gonna do it. I think. And then by that time, you know, Joker already had enough time to brainwash Riddler, and yeah, I mean, a lot of possibilities lah. The thing is, like, Matt Reeves really like blew our minds with this movie.
Really. We had a certain expectation. You know, Batman is a very huge role, a very huge movie, a huge role to actually take up. You know, and he took it and he did very well. I'm very impressed. He actually. It's not some, you know, like mediocre Batman, you know. It's a really proper Batman. Like, very good.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know what to expect in the next movie lah.
But we have to wait for 2 or 3 years lah. That's what
Yeah,
we know lah. That's the part lah. That's the sad part.
The disappointing part is right, like, you know, as much of a great movie this is, right, it's not getting as much traction as I hope it would lah.
Why?
Like you know, there's not enough hype like how an MCU movie would get.
Exactly. You know, I normally I'll go these movies. I'll go one summer first day. You know, and I'll go the night show because that's the most hyped crowd. And when I went, I was so disappointed because normally in one Tama, because the TV is big, we have all these props. You know, even when I went Spider-Man, I went the exact same show. No Way Home. All these props, all the Spider-Man prop people in spider suit, in Doctor Strange, so all came. But for Batman, no props. I was like, what is going on? What is people? What the hell? Am I the only one lah? But then in the cinema, of course, the people all shouted lah. So was fun. But I was disappointed with this one lah. So yeah, like why?
This is the problem when we create like very dark movie lah. I guess.
This is another thing. I saw the day. You know, Rotten Tomato. One of the reviewers gave a low score, saying that this movie is a Batman movie, but it's not children friendly.
Are you serious?
Seriously,
Who wants it to be children friendly now?
It's not children friendly. So I gave a low score for it. It was one of the critics review or something. I was like, oh my god, what is going on with these people? I said watch Coco Melon or something. I watch Batman later. Spoiling other people.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think like the darker aspect has something to do with it lah. Of people not watching it. People want to see, you know, Doctor Strange,
they want to see all these colorful rainbows. Rainbow where the hero comes, saves the day, have some 2-3 jokes.
I am so glad this movie didn't have any unnecessary humor in the movie.
Very got that very good minimal one, but that was part of it. That's part of it. That's subtly in there. Nothing like that. Nothing like if you remember Justice League lah, the Whedon, the Justice League.
Stupid movie lah, most dumbest movie ever.
They included so much of bullshit humor. Then Zack Snyder's one was no humor, just proper straight to the story 4-hour movie. That's how DC should go with that. They suit the dark storyline. They should just stick to that. Yeah, that's it lah, Batman.
Yeah, I think we've said all we need to say about the movie. So overall, it's a great movie. I hope anyone who hasn't seen it is not here because we spoiled the entire movie. But I definitely want to go for a second show lah.
Yeah, you should. You'll appreciate more. Look at it like, it's amazing.
Yeah. So very excited to see what comes next.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, we'll be signing off, guys. Thank you, Loga, for joining me on this
Glad
review.
to be part of this.
I think we'll make another one when Multiverse comes out. Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. We'll see whoever watch it, we can call and join in the conversation.
Yeah. We should get like more guests lah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you guys can see I'm like recording from my room here. You know, my friend texted me saying that it looks too much like a hostel room. Like, what do you want me to do? I am in a hostel room. you know. So okay, thanks guys for watching. If any of you made it to this point, I think we've been literally filming for an hour plus.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
I think this is no longer considered a review lah. I'm gonna title it a deep dive or something. Okay guys, thanks for watching.
Alright.
Right, see you guys soon.
Good night.
Good night.